Hi, this is Dr. T here. I think many of you have been worrying, Dr. T, what to do. In the last 1 month, market meltdown. So indeed, right, that is probably one of the worst money crisis, right? It means how much the stock market corrected down in 1 month, right? Even this US side has 3 times of implementing circuit breakers, right? So the stock market actually fall down 7%. They have to actually stop it for some time, right? And that crisis, guess what? This is a gift from the heaven, right? Dr. T will show you how to take action from here, right? A quick introduction of me. I have a 20 years experience. That's why I've seen many different types of the global financial crisis at the same time, right? The current one could be potential become a global financial crisis as well, but currently it's just a stock crisis. Okay, but at the same time, right? Doctor also have this website. You can go to ein55.com, right, to actually learn further, or you can join my this Facebook forum. I'm inventor for 55 investment styles, and today I'll share with you a few styles for you to take action from here. All right, to profit from the crisis of the stock market, and it's a very rare gift from heaven. Okay, in future you can get to know me better, right? But today I want to actually show you through this video talk here. But everything I share with you here is for educational purpose, right? I'll actually follow right certain this so-called analysis, right? The steps and so on, right? You have to make your own final decisions what to do from here. Is all right? Okay, with that, let's move on from here. So the market actually corrected by how much? Whole world, right? Right, Asia, Europe, USA, even Singapore all falling down. And guess what? The country falling down the list is China, right? Only around 8%. Dr. T, I thought China actually suffered the most from coronavirus. Yes, you're right. They are the first one to start, also the first one to end. So that's why China is relatively right. The stock market more optimistic, right, or less, pessimistic, right? Depends on how you look at it. And Hong Kong is actually 2 times of China in terms of correction, around 20%. And Singapore and USA, wow, very bad, 30%. Right, for USA to goes up, probably 2-3 times in the past few years, and now correct up by 30%, I think is still reasonable. But for dear Singapore, right, the price has not been going up so much in so many years, and now need to fall down in the same degree. So what does it mean? Right, it means this local investor do not share the fortune, but they share the pain. This is quite unfortunate. So that's why for us, the right type of the market to choose, right? Like which exchange, what kind of stocks will make a lot of difference, right? Okay. At the same time, the worst is Europe, right? The number one country, right? Germany in Europe, right? Falling the most, nearly 40%, right? So a lot of combination of fear together. So this is a quick summary. So some say, Dr. T, I worry because now the share price is like falling knife. Buy low, get lower. So I don't know what to do. But if I don't take action, probably it will goes up. So what should I do? Should I do nothing or should I do something? So that's a dilemma of many of you. So we'll go through more details in a short while. All right, all this is due to two black swans. Right, for market to fall down, you need something unexpected to trigger, right, the market at the high optimism. Right, when market at the high optimism level, it's just waiting for something to shake it to fall down. Some say could be US and China trade war. No, there's not. Some say could be maybe some bubbles, technology bubbles, maybe property bubbles. No, not this time. This round is a tiny virus called coronavirus, right? This virus, although not as deadly as a SARS, but very contagious, right? So that's why many people frightening. The fatality rate roughly is a 4% right now. So it means if anyone got infected, every 100, right, in average, 4%, right, may actually die. So that's why life is important, right? Between life and money, people choose life. So as a result, stock market fall down, right? So, but at the same time, if we can see the future of coronavirus, could it end? right, that can give us a glimpse, right, what could happen to the stock market, right, in near future. But at the same time, there's one, another unexpected is called artificial black swan. So basically, the crude oil market fall down due to the fighting of price war between Saudi and Russia. Why? Because the last few years, OPEC and non-OPEC get together, they actually control the supply in order to support the oil price. But unfortunately, Russia feels that it doesn't worth it for them to sustain the price, because eventually it's the US, the shale oil producer, who actually benefit from, right, the price higher. At the same time, right, US, they do not need to actually cut down on their market share. So this round, Russia say no, right, and Saudi, right, decided to actually cut down the prices for the crude oil, and then oversupply some more. So guess what, right? This Brent crude oil, right, from probably 50, $60, falling down all the way to $30, and now even to 20 plus. So that's why there is a tremendous crisis, right, and could be opportunity. For the crude oil, I will not cover today. If you're interested, right, I have a 4 hours workshop, right, we can meet together next time, right, when the virus condition getting better, right, and then I'll explain to you in further, right, how to take action in all this opportunity, commodity, forex, stock market, bond, right, even property, right? Okay, so what kind of actions the G20 leaders they can take? Well, in US, they decided to cut down interest rate from 1.5 to 1%. Not enough, cut down all the way to 0%. And then plus pump in money, QE. QE means quantitative easing, right? Basically, right, the US government, they will buy, the asset, right? Through this process, will actually pump in liquidity to the market. Can it help? Not yet, at least not at the moment. Why? When people are frightening, right? Actually, the more money in the market will not help, because they can keep a lot of cash, but they can put in bank. They can actually, put under a pillow, but they may not want to invest. They may not want to spend, but all depends on when the fear may be over. So that's why I think it makes sense for us to understand the current situation of the virus. Okay, so this is a more detailed version compared my earlier version, just looking at the China and Singapore at the time, right? So roughly 1 or 2 months ago, I already released a video at time perform a technical analysis to show that time basically the world cases mostly, all right, over 90% at time was China. So I projected the condition will reach a peak by end of February. Indeed, it happens. Right, at the time, people may not believe what China, Wuhan, the Hubei, the situation so serious. Are you sure it ends? Probably in the March and the April, and then reach a peak in the February, right? So of course, at the end, all this has been proven. However, for Singapore, right, it follows the earlier phase, because Singapore quite many infected cases from China, right, during the first 1 month, but later on is out of control. Why? Because increasing cases here are dependent on international cases like Europe, right, like even Southeast Asia regional travelers. So that's why unless you lock down the whole country like the Hubei case, no one allowed to get out. Otherwise, international city or country like this Singapore, right? So it's inevitable, right? If the whole world still got a lot of cases, we cannot run away, right? So that's why it makes sense right now, Dr. T, to update what's going on in the whole world right now, right? Beyond China. Huh? Okay, so this is a current situation updated, as of yesterday cases, right, until 19th of March 2020. So you can see the total number of cases right now already up to the 240,000. So remember China, that time the most is around 80,000, right? Means the world right now is 2 times more than China, and add up together with the China cases right now become 3 times of that. And Singapore right now, is around 300 plus, right, approaching probably 400 cases after today. Huh? So some people worrying, but everything is normal. Why you say normal? Because Singapore, the growth rate, and the whole world, the increasing in the cases is aligned. Although in terms of scale is different, the whole world is probably the 1,000 times more population than Singapore. But in terms of proportion, the scale, right, is something similar. So we are not really, ahead nor actually behind. So that's why it's very important for us to monitor the whole world. Don't just every day look at Singapore cases. Okay, then it makes sense for us to keep track the number of cases every day. So this daily means every day here added to the total over here, right? Singapore follow the right axis here, and the whole world follow the left axis if you want to read the numbers. Same thing for daily cases. This is a whole world every day. Guess what? Right now, every day the whole world can add around 27,000, means within 24 hours, 27,000 new cases. And Singapore nowadays even, is normal to have 40 new cases. Why? Because many imported cases. Okay, because the situation in the whole world getting more serious. So many Singaporeans, right, decided to actually come back, which is safer. Okay, but we can do actually a rough calculation here to know the best and worst case scenario, right? So this is some quick estimation. So this is a fact that China has around 80,000 cases already happening and nearly to the end already. And out of 80,000, roughly half of them is from Hubei, 40,000. And we know Hubei has a lockdown, so it was very serious. So we can take the Hubei as the worst possible case can happen to any city, right? Right. So if you want to look at Dr. T, is that could be end of the world, then you say every city like Hubei, something like that, huh? Okay, at the same time, you just take the best case as the current China, right? Means the rest of provinces, right, be outside Hubei are well in control. So in fact, China nowadays is a safer place in the whole world right now. Why? Because they have controlled the situation. If you trust the data reported, right, is right now have very few cases. Okay, so we take the worst case as, right, the China actually whole population is 20 times of Hubei. Okay, Hubei probably around maybe 60 millions population roughly, right? So this China, right? Assuming, right, China, the entire whole country population is 20 times of Hubei province. So since Hubei is 40,000, you use 40,000 times 20 times. So that could be 8 millions. Of course, it never happened, right? So at the time, China government made the right decision to lock down. If they did not lock down Hubei that time, right? So guess what? Your Beijing or Shanghai could be another Hubei. So if that happened, it could have 8 million, right, people in China affected. Of course, it did not happen, huh? Thanks God, huh? Right. But at the same time, that could be the worst may happen, right? If the time, right, the government did not take the action on time. Okay, that's why nowadays you can see more country in the whole world learn from the right lesson in China. They have lockdown in Italy, lockdown in the Europe, entire Europe. Right now, even our neighbor here, right, Malaysia also locked down, right, entirely, huh? Okay, at the same time, the world, right, we can do some projection of the best and worst case. Right, best means, right, we take just the China average case here, right? Right now, China become a role model for the fighting of coronavirus. So the whole world has 5 times of population of China. Okay, because China has around 20% population of the whole world. So you use 5 times 80,000 means 400,000 cases. So in fact, it's not too far from this best case. As of today, we have around 200, maybe 40 to 50,000 cases. So with the increasing 25, or even who knows, tomorrow could be 30,000 a day. So within probably less than 10 days, this number will be broken. So that's why I put down as a best case, right? But at the same time, what's the worst case? Worst case means every city like Hubei. So it means not only is a 20 times. This is a theoretical worst case, 20 times 40,000, which is Hubei. Huh? This is called 8 millions of China, which never happens. Assuming the whole world duplicate that 5 times of the worst case. So you will be 4 million people could be infected. Of course, between 400,000 and 4 millions, this is 10 times difference. So that's why I believe the whole world will not go to here, because we have seen more and more news that more countries, even they do not know what to do, they decide to trust on China model, which is to get as close as to 400,000 if possible. Okay, at the same time, Singapore, the best and worst case, you can do similar calculation. So basically, you can use the ratio of the whole world, right, over the ratio of the Singapore right now, right, for let's say the total as of today, right? So at the same time, using the best case 400,000, just do a simple ratio, you can get 560 cases. Right. In fact, today, probably tomorrow, we may be close to 400 already. So that's why the best case of 560, could be easily broken. How about the worst case in Singapore? Very simple, 10 times of it, 5,600. Why 10 again? Right, because there's a factor of here, right? Between the best and the worst case, there's a 10 times of the scale, right? So that's why for Singapore, I'll say the biggest risk right now is the international risk, right? At certain point, right now there are stricter rules, including the control of the border, including the arrival of the international whoever coming back from the overseas, right, to have this staying home for 14 days. That I would say would help, right? But at the same time, right, the whole world will continue, right, all this spreading, right? So this is like wildfire. A fire, right, eventually will burn down the whole forest, right? For example, look at the case of like in Australia, right? The wildfire, I'm not too sure has it stopped, right? So it must burn until majority, certain harm is caused. So in the so-called virus context, right, it's called the community immunity. So why, like last time, this great Spanish flu, right, 100 years ago killed so many people, eventually, right, it died down. Yeah, because it actually lowered down to a virus which is less harmful, right? After actually, having so many generation of evolution. So that's why even one day, right, assuming we cannot control the coronavirus, assuming every winter, every 6 months come back again, right? But likely, right, you become less, deadly, right? Even it can be as contagious. Yeah, so that's why um, it must go through one round of spreading. So that's why WHO already officially announced it's a pandemic. Right? Pandemic means, right, it can affect, right, nearly everyone in the whole world already. Okay, but we will not predict the future on that. But let's look at the possible scenario over here. Okay, so that's why for Singapore, right, the period is started earlier, right? In fact, 1 month after China start, already started, and likely has to wait until the whole world ending. It can end together, hopefully by end of summer. Okay, so we can put all together using a model. So this is 1 2 months ago I come up with this model to predict the China cases, which is quite accurate. It's actually roughly a 4 months model. 1 month initially you probably cannot even detect, and then growing very fast, and then another 1 month to reach a peak. After reaching peak, right, the peak doesn't mean will not have any more cases. It's probably like 95 to 99% of the cases. So eventually there'll be some cases, right? For example, China, right? Sometimes you hear the whole day don't have new cases, and probably a few here and there, right? That's what I mean here, right? And in fact, Korea is getting near to that as well. So that is the stage of number 4 here. So this stage 1, 2, 3. 3 is a peak. 2 is a become slower growth. So this is the most headache part, right? So the number of cases keep on increasing. Right now, Singapore is near to 2, because Singapore has a twin peaks, right? Dual growth rate. Yeah. So the first high growth due to the China peak. There another second high growth due to the international, the whole world. Unfortunately. Okay. So that's why from the China model, roughly we can see, right? In fact, this is not never ending, because China is roughly 20% of the whole world, right? Unless you tell me China, the people, right, the structure is different, so therefore the reaction could be different, right? I would say the virus, right, do not discriminate, right? It affect all races of people, right? So that's why this could be a good news, although we hate to see virus hurting so many people, right? The good news is there's an ending to it. Okay, however, right, the lesson learned, right, you need to have this plan, right? For example, isolation plan, right? So to actually minimize on the so-called possible spreading. So that's why for those countries, like for example, look at Iran. Iran initially do not control. That's why the high peak reach very very high. Okay, and Italy, right, also react a bit slower initially. So that's why the growth is still high at the moment. Huh? Yeah, so that's why certain country like UK, right, feel very hard to control. We decided to just take the direct hit. Okay, let the nature, right, probably take its own course, right? So, but whether this, use the natural way, whether it's right or wrong, no one knows, right? Because based on statistic, every 4% of the 100 people affected may eventually die, especially those with an age group, more than 40 to 50 years old. Huh? Yeah, so that's why do not take it lightly. All right, so this is just a quick summary. You can read through yourself of the different P1. P means point 1, 2, 3, 4 different countries. So China started first and first. Right now we see a case of Korea probably ending soon as well, then followed by Iran. Later I'll show you the chart, right? Singapore unfortunately may not be 4 months, right? Need to get a bit longer, 5 months, who knows, even 6 months, because it started follow the China, but it has to end with the war. Huh? Yeah, so this is a price to pay as an international city. Huh? Okay, at the same time, we look at a quick summary of the major countries of their cases. Right, of course, this is not the World Cup. Huh? This is actually the coronavirus statistic. China, this is the daily cases. Last time reported in February, right? You see, nearly to the end already, right? So the whole, I'll say right now is waiting for recovery. They still probably have, who knows, around 10,000 people may not recover yet. So that process may take another 1 month, okay? Eventually say goodbye, but they still got risk. Why? Because once they open up the border, right, anyone could actually affect China one more time. Huh? Yeah, so, but of course, it will not be same as last time, that kind of serious condition. Korea is second after China, right? Means in terms of seriousness. But guess what? All right, this is closer to China. I do not have the data from Japan. I'm not surprised Japan also coming down. Huh? Yeah, and then Iran, right? Initially very serious, but later on also getting better. So in fact, this is a very good trend. So this is what I mean of the 5 steps here, right? So Iran is between 2 and 3 here, right? May approaching the peak. Huh? Once this one go to zero number of cases, it will reach a peak. All right, Korea is going to peak soon. China already last month reaching a peak already. Italy, France, Germany still during growing phase between zero point 0.1 and zero point 0.2. Same thing was Spain, UK, and USA. In fact, USA is very worrying. Why I say so? Number one, right, the growth rate from lower to higher. So right now, in fact, is not even approaching 2 yet, right? Still at the very high growth rate region. And you probably cannot read from here. But what if I point to you? This number one day is 5,000 cases. It means USA is so serious. Last time even China, right? If you can read through here, probably one day could be maybe 3 4,000. But USA is 5,000 a case. Not to mention the next few days, who knows, can be one day 10,000. So that's why eventually, who knows, USA could have the most number of cases. Yeah, so that's why it is quite unfortunate for that to happen. Yeah, in fact, USA and the rest of the world has a lead time at least 1 month or 2 months ahead of the like Asian countries. By the time thinking is so far away, it should not spread over. Yeah, so for example, the mask may not be ready, the healthcare, these are resources not prepared in advance, right? But of course, all these are the past, right? But the good news right now, they are very actively, right, working on it. Yeah, so that's why life is precious to everyone. So that's why all these countries, if they work together, I believe there's a highly chances, all right, roughly in June time, right? During summertime when the temperature is warmer, right? From the experience of this SARS, could end, before that. But of course, even if it ends, right, we cannot assume it will end. Even Israel ending, then who knows, it may come back again. Yeah. So, but it means the whole world, right, must actually work harder on like development of the vaccine and so on, which is very important. Huh? Yeah, because many years ago, right, during SARS time, because SARS actually recovered too early, so at the time, actually the whole world decided not to continue with a vaccine development, right? That's quite unfortunate because the SARS and coronavirus sharing many close their DNA feature and so on, right? So in fact, if that time a vaccine could be developed right now, could help to shorten the so-called the time. Okay, anyway, just keep our finger crossed. Okay, we continue from here. Dr. T, you seems to imply something. If there's a possible, light at the end of tunnel by end of June. For example, just now you say China, the stock market actually correct the list. So because of China, actually the situation right now in terms of the coronavirus is actually the best. Yes, you're right. So it means that it's possible the rest of the whole world, for example, Korea, once they're getting better, all right, who knows if go and look at Korea stock market, right? They may be more positive in the next 1 month. What if the UK, US, and the Europe, right? Of course, right now in the March is a peak period. Who knows? Uh, it may continue to get worse in April. But guess what? Let's say assuming in May, okay. Let's say the cases follow like like Korea side, coming down. Still got daily cases, but it's the trends coming down. So you know how this investor may react, right? They will get used to it and they will think the less cases as a good news. And what may happen to the stock market? It means the entire stock market, right? It may not be just a crash. It could be a flash crash and likely could have a V-shaped recovery if the virus ends earlier. Plus, if the whole world keep on pumping billions and trillions of dollars to the stock market. Yeah, of course, right? What we do want to see is what if the virus may not end on time? What if the stock market fall down so much beyond recovery, even the virus ended, but the fear continue and the worst is causing right damage to the real economy, right? For example, GDP coming down, unemployment rate increasing, right? People don't have jobs, right? People stop spending money, right? The businesses actually making losses. So at time, even there's no coronavirus, even there's no crude oil crisis, unfortunately, it may end up as the global financial crisis. Okay, so let's go into more details on the stock market here. Before I continue, let me give you a gift. We can go to Dr. T website, ein55.com, to download these two valuable ebooks. One is my Outlook for Market for 2020 plus the so-called 10 Dream Team players, right? Let's say you want to have a sample portfolio for 10 stocks, right? But 10 stock doesn't mean to buy today, right? They are mainly based on the fundamental, but you need to wait for the right timing, right? In fact, many of the giant stocks in the whole world, right, having very attractive discount. So it's like going for shopping. They say $100 handbag. Nobody's selling you at $50. Who know selling you at $20, $30, right? So that's why value must come in front. Only then price follows. Okay. And remember, do not buy a rotten apple. If an apple is $1, if there's a worm inside, a big hole, even selling you at 10 cents with 90% discount, that is not a good buy. So remember, crisis is opportunity if it's a valuable giant stocks with strong fundamental business every month, every year, make money. Crisis is a crisis if the share price fall down because of business fall down. Yeah, so that's why this is a very so-called minimum understanding we should have. Do not just look at the last 10 years low, last 20 years low, because price is just one dimension. We must see many dimensions. In fact, Dr. T has a 55 investment styles. Today, I only apply one style only called the Optimism technique. Right? In future, you got chance you can learn from Dr. T the other 54 styles. Huh? Okay, other than this, I'll give you another bonus. You can join Dr. T Facebook forum here. This is a private forum, right? But you can click a join, and then probably you can type a passcode 55, right, to join Dr. T. This Facebook forum. I'll give you permission to join within 24 hours. Okay, this is educational forum. Please no commercial inside, right, for exchange of investment knowledge in all areas. Okay, Dr. T, shall we start to looking at the global stock market because we cannot wait to see the opportunity in the whole world right now, including Singapore. Fine. Firstly, we must understand about the concept of optimism, right? In order to draw optimism, you need to master the giant according to Dr. T criteria, right? So this is actually the value of a stock or business. At the same time, then you can follow by the 5 lines here to show the low and high. So basically, optimism can show you the clock, TikTok when to buy and sell, right? So for example, when optimism less than 25%, you can buy low. At the middle, 25 to 75%, you can hold it. Above 75, you can sell it, right? And then you can actually wait for correction. For example, current market exactly what happened, and then buy low again. Even you can do shorting if you want to from high optimism downwards, right? Okay, Doctor is clear. So exactly, we wait for the cold winter to go in. In fact, just a month ago, right, US is still a hot summer in terms of stock market bullish, right? Using this technique, right, you need to overcome your greed to sell high. Will you sell? You may not. Same thing, right now, probably not US, but the rest of the whole world, right, entering low optimism or the winter time. Do you dare to overcome your fear? No, Dr. T, I cannot. I buy low, then next day you get lower. And every day, even index drop by 5%. And then the whole week probably drop 20%. Whole month drop 30%. I could not take it. Yes. So that's why if you follow pure price method, it may not work. Right? Optimism is not like a just draw like a channel 5 lines. It's actually 1/3 personal analysis, control emotion, 1/3 technical, 1/3 fundamental. In future, you got chance I'll teach you in more details, but today just a quick introduction on that. So it's like when you're entering, right, we see that your giants dropping to low optimism, your upside is actually 75%. This is your reward, but you got risk. Your risk is it may buy low, it may get lower. Yes, but the downside is limited. Okay, so this is the beauty of low optimism. Yes, it can fall down. Crude oil can fall down. Stock price can fall down. Right? Maybe your Singapore stock can fall down, but limited downside. Right? Why? Because it fall down too much already. Yeah, so this is called reward to the risk ratio, right? Roughly ratio of 3 to 1. You use $1 to exchange for $3. Yeah, this especially for longer term investor, but this technique can also apply for the trading, right? Probably not today focus here, right? In future, got chance during a more time during the meetup 4 hour session. I'll explain to do short-term trading, medium-term trading, and long-term investing. Even you want to buy a stock and hold for lifetime, no need to sell. Is it possible? Yes, but require 4 different strategies for 4 different personalities. This is exactly what I meant here. The personality type A, B, C, D. From holding weeks, months, years, or even lifetime. Okay, the whole big fish, no need to buy the lowest or sell the highest, like eat the fish from tail to head, no need. Just eat the meat from the 25%, right, to 75%, for example. Just buy low enough, sell high enough. Okay, we continue here, right? So this is a whole world, right? Stock market, right? Whole world is the most important, right? Probably your DBS cannot affect the whole world. Whole world cannot, whole world can affect DBS, for example. Why I say so? Because the whole world, right? You see there are 2 times wolf coming, wolf coming. This is so-called a danger signal. Once the optimism go beyond 75%, right? Here you can say, Dr. T never fall down. Lucky, yes. Lucky 1 time, can you lucky 2 times? Yeah, in fact, the last few years, I've been calling, right, in many of my meetup session, my monthly free workshops to the public. Be careful, be careful, be careful. Yeah, but currently, there's either double to triple of the top here, right? In fact, in the year 2008, it happens become just a mini bear. It did not actually fall down, right? It recovered. So some people take it for granted. This round maybe will stop here, and then will come back. possible, but look at the current trend, not very positive. Right, there's a high chance it may ends up to here, then it may become a global financial crisis. So every roughly 10 years, right, the whole world, not exactly 10 years, right, but usually a duration of roughly 10 years, but the last bull run was longer than the usual, from around March 2009 until March 2020. The whole world enjoy 11 years of bull run. This is the longest so far in the history. So that's why with the longest bull run, so that's why with the more correction, right? So it's reasonable. But this is almost like a price cliff falling down. Okay, so this is very scary. Within less than 1 month time, fall down. Optimism from high to actually nearly low, not yet low. So if you ask me, Doctor, is there any no-brainer way of investing? Yes, you buy DBS, or you buy even JP Morgan, or you buy, let's say, uh, even American Express. You probably even worry they can go bankrupt. Then you may consider the whole world. Huh? There are some world ETF you may consider. It means, for example, this is a world ETF. You can invest in over 1,000 blue chips. Even there's 10 blue chip out of 1,000 go bankrupt, assuming by right it shouldn't go bankrupt, assuming 10 out of 1,000 go bankrupt in the next crisis, right? So if you invest $100, right, 10 out of 1,000 is just 1%. So $100, you lose $1. But if you invest everything in one stock, assuming that stock even so good, but if something unexpected happen, you can lose everything you have. So that's why diversification is key for an investor. But we do not need to over diversify. Huh? Just now the technique is more for those low capital investor. For example, they probably only have $1,000. Right? They could not diversify to buy 10 different giant stocks. In that case, you can buy index, right? ETF, for example. Huh? Okay, so in future, when we meet up next time, I'll show you how to position to buy, for this global crisis, which has not yet happened. Okay, now let's look at this USA. USA is level 3, the whole world level 4, right? So the higher is the levels, the stronger is the power. Right now, USA is only 49% optimism, right? Even the price fall down by roughly 30%, the index, US stock index, but optimism corrected from roughly 90% to around 49%. Still a fair value. So that's why Trump right now, in fact, this price here is roughly like the last 3 years low for USA, not the last 10 years there, right? So last 10 years, is somewhere here. So that's why Trump see the opportunity. So that's why Trump has to act fast. So that's why last time you see during 2008-2009 subprime crisis, it probably take a few years for the interest rate to fall down all the way to zero. But this round, just within less than 1 month, from 1.5% cut down to zero. But can it save the market? Not yet. So can $700 billion QE printing money save the market? May not be enough. How about adding one more trillion? Not enough. 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 trillions, right? So at the end, what happens? There's a possibility if more money is pumped in and if the coronavirus could end before summer, as long as this number do not fall down all the way to here, there's still a chance, right? USA can bring the whole world go up, right? It means that this is just a flash crash. It means this is just a mini bear, not like a wolf. Wolf means over here calling, but just a mini correction. A mini bear could come to here 50% optimism. This is a big bear, right? Coming, like global financial crisis. So that's why before a mini bear can become a big bear, Trump has to actually act fast. Okay, but right now it's a 50% chance because 50% depends on how much money they can print, and now 50% depends on when coronavirus may end. But luckily, just based on the analysis, there's a chance, although the chance is not like a strong chance. Okay, as an investor, we have to plan for these two possibilities. A is a flash crash only, means it's just a correction, a very severe correction, right? Although US is just a correction, but the rest of the whole world, in fact, actually quite serious. So that's why you can take opportunity to start using so-called progressive entries. It means let's say you got $100, don't go in $100, right? It means you can go in batches, 10%, another 10%, and so on, right? So until the signal become clearer. Why is so? Because if you wait until to buy at the cheapest at the lowest, you're greedy to buy low. Yes, by right, this is a good so-called habit to buy low. But what if we never drop to here? What if we come to here and rebound here? You may miss the boat, right? As long as you are not having a feeling of fear of missing out, then it's okay. It's fine, Dr. T. If I miss out, it's fine. Then I'll just wait for next time to fall down. Then it's okay. But some people will feel, wow, what a waste. There are so many giant stock in the whole world drop by 50%, although US is just dropping 30%. So that's why I do not miss a chance. Right? Even this is just a correction. Even let's say summertime, it may come back, right? You don't have to predict all this. You just need to follow certain strategies to take advantage of that, huh? Okay, so but guess what if the second scenario, right? Even Trump tried to save it, it fall down all the way, right? Then I can tell you 50% discount is become nothing. Okay, remember the 1929, the Great Depression? It took 5 years to recover. I do not think the current one may be as serious as that, but likely will be more than 50% correction. So that's why that will be a very good news for those longer term investor. Potentially, you can buy low and hold long term, or even hold for lifetime. So some retirees waiting for retire, as long as you have cash. That's why cash is king, but with condition you use at the right time, right? When the market is high, you don't buy. Market low, you don't buy. Then cash is actually wasted, huh? Okay, so got it, fine. So that's why currently the market is like a falling knife. Okay, so more suitable for contrarian investor who can actually catch the falling knife, but catching in batches, right? But at the same time, you can integrate trading into investing, means you do not have to go in too early. For example, you go to the shorter term time frame, this long term, go to medium term. You see medium term over correct for this US. So in fact, broken the last support already, right? So that's why you buy low, it may get lower. So for trading, it's different from investing. Investing, probably you can counter trend buy low, like follow like Warren Buffett technique. All right, after you buy low, right, you can actually this so-called wait for the market to recover. Yeah, why? Because you follow fundamental approach. All right, at the same time, this trader, you must follow a trend. So you should actually pay for the higher price. Why pay for higher price, Dr. T? If I can buy here, why I must pay higher? Because you need to wait for the market sentiment to become more positive. Because a trader not necessarily just wait for the good news, good for the so-called low price. Okay, because you need to wait for the reversal to prevent buy low get lower. Same thing for the short term here, huh? Yeah, so you can see this is a very sharp falling knife. In fact, if you ask me, right, there are people who actually do shorting. Shorting means with the price falling down, you make money. So that's why there are all kinds of possible actions, right? A few years ago, over here, I've been calling, right, short term, you can long, follow momentum trading with a condition, right, the US is bullish. So when this is sky falling down, right, you can apply, right, either shorting here, or you can just get out, do nothing first. So you must know when not to take action. For example, your personality not suitable as you may not like to do shorting, then it's fine. Then in that case, just do nothing first. But your action of do nothing is because, right, you have make that decision. You do nothing is not because you don't know what to do, right? This is more important. Okay, at the same time, look at the Singapore. Finally, waiting for 10 years, optimism dropped to low. The last time Singapore low optimism was the year 2829. All right, every roughly, probably I would say maybe 8 to 10 years, there's one crisis waiting. The 1997 Asian financial crisis to buy low. Right, year 2000, the dot-com bubble to sell high. Year 2003, the SARS and Gulf War to buy low. Year 2007, before subprime crisis, overcome greed to sell. Year 2009, right, after the QE1, unfortunately, Singapore, year 2011 have to get out. So from year 2001 to year 2020, these 9 years is wasted. Huh? Yeah, so that's why unfortunately, right, so investor holding for 9 years, if just collecting a little bit of dividend like 2-3% from STI, eventually have to suffer the same falling like USA, right, with 30%, and that might be even more downside, right? So that's why some people worry. Took a T here, I worry, here I worry, here I worry. Right, later come back, think too late, I don't buy, too expensive. Eventually, when will you buy? You'll buy here. Okay, so this is a common mistake for investor. That's why Warren Buffett do not time the market. He always follow the value versus the price, but he never share with anyone. Only the whole world. He and Charlie Munger know how to do it, right? So for you, you can follow simple optimism technique. Treat Dr. T, the 50% optimism. This one is the intrinsic value, right, of the so-called or stock. So when it's a green line here, this is undervalue, unfair price. When it can drop to purple line, means this is a very unfair price, almost insane price. Okay, it means unless probably who knows, Singapore one day cannot make it. When it then come to here, never come back. Why? Because if the price come to here, right, if you invest at this price in 30 blue chips, let's say in Singapore, and you can still lose money, it means there's no hope for Singapore anymore. Right? So we need to learn to take calculated risk. All right, so if you do not buy just one Singapore stock, you may buy the 30 STI, for example. All right, if you don't buy one US stocks, you can buy 500 S&P, you can buy 30 Dow Jones, for example. Yeah, so that's why index has its own beauty, but index has a limitation because index usually the growth is slower than giant stock, individual one. Okay, so that's why if you have the knowledge to look for individual giant stock, I'll say that is even better. But you can form a balanced portfolio. In the next meetup, Dr. T will teach you, how to do so, to form a dream team for yourself and take advantage of the current global stock crisis. Okay, so this is a good news for whoever prepared, and unfortunately, right, this is nothing to whoever, right, view it and decided to do nothing. If this is a flash crash, right, to US is just a correction, but to Singapore, this is already a significant undervalue correction. Because for USA, I can see this one is not even to here yet, low optimism. But for Singapore, already low. And midterm, not mentioned, right, midterm trader definitely need to get out already. Yeah, so that's why as a trader, you need to follow the trend. When the trend reverse, you still hold on to it, is a wrong actually strategy for trading unless you are doing shorting. But with this kind of a sharp falling knife, to do shorting is also not easy because sometimes when you pull back, it can be like 2-3% coming back. For example, some probably can look at the last 1 week of a price, sometimes down 5%, sometimes up 5%. Okay, yeah, very volatile market, right? Not easy for this ordinary, right, retail traders to take action. So that's why I'm okay for you, right? If you decided to stay at the sideline, right, wait for the price to become more bullish first. Okay, yeah, but there's certain strategy you need to actually learn. All right, in the next meetup, I'll teach you, all right, how to do trading. Okay, if you are not investing, trading looking for return in a few weeks or few months time, and investor looking for a few years, higher capital gains, even some looking for the lifetime holding, tremendous return. All right, but that require a different kind of personality of holding. Look at Hong Kong. Hong Kong also follows Singapore, follow the rest of the whole world except for USA, right? Go down to low optimism, right? So this is a Hong Kong stock market. Every 5 to 10 years, Hong Kong fall down more frequent than this Singapore. In fact, in year 2006, right, Hong Kong fell down one time. So that's why Singapore and Hong Kong, right, they share the same, global investor, right? They probably will look at everything is within your fingertips. Yeah, in Singapore, in Hong Kong, you can also buy, sell any global stocks. So that's why this is the reason why the fear, right, observed in one country, in China, can spread to Hong Kong, to whichever. So that's why not only the coronavirus is spreading, right, the fear can spread within the financial world as well. Okay, so there are so many good Hong Kong stock falling down, property, banking, finance. So although in general over 90% stocks are falling down, or should I say over 99%, right? You just take a look for yourself. Yeah, but with particular all these few these cyclic sectors, for example, airlines, okay, these technologies, banking, finance, property, right? So all those are the highly cyclic, these sectors, and some of those are very good giant stocks. Unlike airlines, yes, likely will lose a lot of money in the next 1 year, right? Because traveling has down by more than probably 70%, but their business, even as of today, still make money, right? So that's why, but their share price barely corrected. So that's why this is called opportunity. The company every month, every year make money, but the share price drop more than 50%. So we don't just use 50% correction, we use optimism. Because optimism, when come to here, may not be just 50%. This could be falling down 20%, this could be falling down 90%. So it's actually dependent on individual stock and index, for example. Huh? Okay, other than this, we got the midterm, right? Same thing. The game is over for trader, right? Both a midterm and the short term over here, huh? Okay, so that's why trader, right? Same things, right? Singapore traders, Hong Kong traders, all must actually get out, huh? Okay, at the same time, this China side, then we have this so-called low optimism here, huh? Yeah, in fact, China has been low optimism for roughly 2 years already. Yeah, so that's why even here is the 20% optimism, right? So this is not really like a rare opportunity, right? In fact, in the last 2 years, you could buy low. In fact, in 2014 or 15, right, you could have another chance. Okay, so right now with a more optimistic virus recovery, right, in the China, so likely China could be the first one to recover, but because right now the economy is affected, right? So in fact, for the GDP to maintain 6%, almost a mission impossible. It may drop to 5% or even 4% because manufacturing in the last few months, basically most of them has stopped already, huh? So PMI falling and so on. So it'll take some time to recover, but once this is the engine, right, for the growth, right? In fact, these are the dual engines, China and USA. So that's why we must always monitor these two leaders, right? Number one and number two economy in the whole world. Huh? Other than this, right, for trader, in fact, relatively more optimistic, right, compared with the so-called the rest of the whole world in China. In fact, they are short term, although there's a correction here, yes, but that is not really like a sharp falling knife, right? In fact, I would say maybe more like a sideways kind of trend so far, huh? But still, even sideways, we don't do trading, huh? Yeah, trading must have a clear signal, either clear uptrend or clear downtrend. If you don't do shorting, then probably do not do anything for trading. But for investing, it's possible for contrary investor to go in. Huh? There are many wonderful business in China in the form of stock, Hong Kong, USA. So waiting for you to look for them, because when people are frightening, they just sell everything they have, right? So they do not care. They just worry, the sky fall down, they lose everything they have. Okay, so you can actually learn further from Dr. T because I think I probably have spent quite a lot of time just now. Yeah, so but even that time is considered short, so you can learn these 10 strategies from me, right? So probably in the next month when the coronavirus situation get better, right? So before it actually fade away, assuming if we may go away before the summer, in fact, just 1 2 months before that, right? Probably like April or May, right? Some already, right? Take action already. So that's why if that happens, belong the scenario one, a flash crash and the vicious recovery, then the action for the next 1 or 2 months will be very critical. Of course, if it ends up as a global financial crisis, then you have more time. Right? Usually, global financial crisis will take roughly 6 to 12 months. So you actually have more time, but you cannot assume. So you must assume the crisis may be over in a few months' time. Okay, unless Trump cannot support it, right? If the virus, still severe, then you can actually position for the next more severe crisis. But start learning from here. How to buy low, sell high, not just for stock, even for property, forex, commodity, and the rest. Right? Political economy. Right? Even I'll teach you, how to invest like Warren Buffett, but don't buy at the same price as Warren Buffett. Right now, Buffett actually has lost 30% for his portfolio, but the loss is insufficient. right? We'll see a big loss by Warren Buffett, then you can take advantage of him. Same thing for the Cushing, same thing for Temasek. Use them as a defender. I'll teach you that kind of a safer strategy. Even you want to do shorting possible, must adopt a high probability shorting strategy for trading. And whoever looking for passive income like REITs or high dividend stock, congratulations. Nowadays, to get a 5% dividend yield is not something difficult. Even there are some more than 10%. But please remember, do not buy a junk REIT. Do not buy a junk stock, which just simply look for the dividend yield. I'll teach you the right way of this dividend investing. Okay, by right, you should have done spring cleaning by now. Right? Otherwise, you have been holding to a stock, maybe, coming down tremendously. Minimum down by 30% so far. If not, I'll still will teach you how to do so. It's never too late, right? Because if it become a global financial crisis, right now it's still just a stock crisis, not yet a financial crisis. Financial crisis means even the economy, right? Maybe affected, right? Right now, at least not yet for USA. Right? USA contribute to the whole world more than 50% of the economy and the stock value. Yeah. So at the same time, you need to look at the few critical parameters. Know what to buy, when to buy, and when to sell for stocks, right? And then today, mostly is on optimism. Right. In the next session, you also integrate optimism with fundamental, technical, personal analysis. Right. In fact, I got 55 styles. Right. Optimism is just one style. And then I'll give you more outlook, right, even beyond the current four markets. Okay, sounds good. But Dr. T, how much should I pay for it? Right? You are my this supportive readers, right? I will actually help you. All right, it worth $500, but you can attend for free. In fact, I cancel all my events in February. I cancel most of my events in the March. Okay, um, but this is for your safety, right? So that's why I purposely postpone it to April time. Okay, and the event will do all the precautionary measures, right? Not just make sure scanning the body temperature, right? And then practicing the social distancing, and plus the so-called whoever travel in the past 14 days could not join the program. So it's relatively safe, right? If you can take a calculated risk, right, to attend the session. Same thing for the stock investment, right? Because my worry is the opportunity could be gone in just 1-2 months time. So that's why I decided to run one session in the April. I don't want to wait until May or June later on when the opportunity is gone. Right? In fact, crisis caused by coronavirus, the opportunity also taken away by the virus fear. Okay, so just remember, right? Do all the precaution, not only for the personal health, also for the investment. Okay, so in this 4-hour session, you'll learn how to form a dream team portfolio and see so many wonderful giant stocks falling down, buying at discounted price with a strategies shared by Dr. T. Assuming you're not free in April 23rd, right, you can sign up for my next monthly session will be in May. Okay, usually every month I have one free talk. Just go to my website ein55.com. Right, you can share with your friends, register together. Right, straight away you can download 2 free ebooks first. All right, and then during session I'll give you a free stock screener with my strategies to guide you. And then early birds who come early, right, you can name one stock of your choice. We can do a stock diagnosis for educational purpose. Okay, with that, thank you very much, everyone. I wish you good health and manage your fear for both coronavirus and also for the stock, virus. Okay, means the stock price falling down. Always remember, crisis indeed is opportunity. Please see through it. Right? Bye bye.